For this lesson, we are going to be finding the terms of an arithmetic sequence. So let's go over some vocabulary because this is totally new. This is a sequence is an ordered list of numbers. A term is each number in the sequence. So as I'm looking down here, let's just go over, this is our sequence and each one of these numbers are terms. So now the common difference is the difference between consecutive terms. It should be the exact same number. And then last but not least, we're going to be using this formula, and I will explain that when we get down to the second part. So right now, let's focus on sequence, term, and common difference. If we're asked to write just the next three terms, all we have to do is we've got to find the common difference between the terms. So this is a -12 and a 0. Oh, well, that's plus 12. And so here I see this next one is a plus 12. Each one of these are 12 apart. So if they're 12 apart, in order to get my next one, it's going to be 24 plus 12, which is 36. And then I'm going to add 12 to 36, which we know is 48, and 12 to 48, which is 60. So these are the next three terms of the sequence. And the 12 was what we call the common difference. And in our formula, it's going to be represented with a D. All right, well, let's look at number 2. We go from 2/10 to 6/10 to 1 to 1 4/10. Well, I don't know if you noticed that from 2/10 to 6/10, it is a plus 4/10. From 6/10 to a 1, it is a plus 4/10. And from 1 to 1 4/10, it is plus 4/10. So you guessed it, our common difference is 4/10. We will be adding 4/10 to each number. So 1 4/10 plus 4/10 is 1 8/10. 1 8/10 plus 4/10 is 2 2/10. And 2 2/10 plus 4/10 is 2 6/10. Well, that's not too bad. As long as we can find the common difference, we can easily list the next three terms. But what if the directions are asking you to find the nth term of an arithmetic sequence? In other words, I don't want the next three, I want the 50th term, or I want the 25th term. We definitely do not want to go ahead and just list them all. So that's where we use our formula that we have here. It's a to the n, and that will be what term you're finding, equals the first term right here, plus n, which is the term that we are finding, minus 1 times the common difference. So again, this is the formula, and here are what each one of those parts of it stand for. So I wrote it here so I don't have to keep rewriting it down below. So this is what we're going to refer to. And I'm looking at this, and a to the n, I am looking for actually the 50th term. So you just kind of write it like that. Well, my first term in that sequence is a 14, right there. Plus, I'm going to, now this n is my 50 minus 1, and now I've got to find the common difference. So when I'm looking at the numbers 14, 11, 8, and 5, do you notice that each one of these actually go down by 3? So our common difference that we're going to multiply by this number is going to be a -3. So let's go ahead and let's, follow the order of operations for how we're going to solve this. It's just as easy as that now. This is just naming what term we're finding. So we're not going to do anything with that. This just tells us when we're done, we'll have the 50th term. So I'm going to do equals 14 plus, we know 50 minus 1 is 49. and we're going to have to multiply that 49 by a -3. And so again, I'm writing this out. Oops, this should be a 50, not just an n, is equal to 14. And when I multiply this out, I actually end up getting a -147. So I'm just going to say 14 minus 147. So our 50th term is just 14 minus 147 is going to be a -133. There is the answer that they were looking for. Again, if you know this little formula, it becomes really easy to just substitute in the numbers and then find the term. All right, well, let's look at the next one. The next one wants us to find the 25th term, and I have 4, 5, 6, and 7. So while I'm just looking at those numbers, I noticed they just end up increasing by 1 each time. And guess what? That is going to be our common difference. So I don't want you to think common difference means subtraction. It just means what's the number that is between each one of the terms. So let's go to the formula again. We're looking for the 25th term is equal to the first term in the sequence is a 4 plus, we're in parentheses, we're going to put our 25 because that's a term we want, minus 1, and then the common difference was a 1. So again, just copy down, this is just naming what we're finding, is equal to 4 plus, well, 25 minus 1 we know is 24, and 24 times 1 is just 24. So we know that the 25th term that we would find if we listed them all, which we know we do not want to do that, we want to use this formula, would be 28. If this video was helpful to you today, please add a like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more Math with Marcia. See you again soon.